I enjoy doing this work during daylight hours because usually before I had the job here, I had a different career. One of these people that I kind of lived two lives. I had my day job. I ran an electrical business, but I also had my night job because I had two businesses. And my night job was writing books, researching, writing books, writing magazine articles, doing all what I do today. I did at night and, writing till 2 in the morning to hit a deadline and stuff like that. So the part I enjoy is the fact that I get to do what I love during regular business hours instead of nighttime hours. But I love the fact that I'm in a place where I can walk down 2 flights of stairs and I have the entire minor and news archive sitting there. One set of stairs down, I have the entire archive of the Lake Woods Museum at my fingertips, photos, information. I love the fact that I work with, and it's exciting, even after a month, working with 2 people, Marcus and Braden, who are really good at their jobs, really knowledgeable, and they're going to be kind of the people that help guide me through all of this. So that's been pretty exciting. Because I kind of come into this differently. A lot of people in this, if they're a museum curator, they'd be coming into this as an academic, where they're kind of with the academic mindset, which is 100%. That's kind of what this job is. But I kind of come into this job sideways, kind of differently. I would use academic thoughts and processes, research, diving through archives, finding out information. But my whole reason for doing that is I wanted to tell a story, like write a book, write magazine articles. So that's kind of where I come at with this, is I'm always trying to tell a story. Find the story, dive down, not as fun as Indiana Jones or, there's no rocks tumbling towards me, but, trying to dive down and find the story and tell the story. So it's kind of neat that way as I come in, Braden and Marcus, they're very academic, love telling a story also, but I kind of come in at it where that's kind of what my focus was, always telling a story. And I think that'll be the one thing when I am here, is I want to just tell stories of our history and stuff like that. So kind of right now, just getting my feet wet, trying to figure out the whole place. I don't get lost anymore, which is great, because there are 3 different layers of archives and stuff like that. So right now, just working out. We do great outreach to Wigwas and to Pinecrest, where we do presentations every month. So now I do that. So now I'll be also thinking about, even though my mind is in the past with this job, my mind's always in the future, thinking about what we're going to be doing. So a couple of the big things that are coming up next year will be the 25th anniversary of amalgamation, which is a huge thing for Kenora, Keewatin and Jaffrey Mellick, J&M. So that's probably my big first project, will be an exhibit on that. And it'll be really interesting because we're going to be diving into the history of each town and kind of what it went in, what were the happenstance of why there was amalgamation, and going through it. Because even though it's 25 years ago, it gets forgotten, because we've been a city for 25 years. So it all kind of melts away in the background. And so it's going to be interesting bringing back hard feelings. And actually, a lot of those hard feelings are still there about needing to amalgamate, whether we should have amalgamated or not. So it's going to be interesting, because I think it's going to bring up a lot of people's feelings about because in reality it was pretty much a forced amalgamation from our province. I think a lot of good came from it, but we'll learn through it also. It kind of was the distinguishing of 3 distinct towns as they were melded into one city. So that'll be the first big thing I do. And then during the summer, I've always had the interest of Jacob Gadar, who is, we all pass his mural. It's right across from City Hall. So in 1901, they had the World Professional Sculling, which is rowing, championship race on Lake of the Woods. It went from the harbor front to Coney Island and back. It was probably one of the very first things where newspapers and people around the world had their eye on Rat Portage, Lake of the Woods, because it was a really big event for our city. No, for the town of, well, at that point, we're Rat Portage. So it's going to be diving into the kind of the history of professional rowing, a little bit of rowing in Kenora, but it'll be about this championship rower, world championship rower who bought a hotel, ran a hotel here for 5 or 6 years, but had one of the biggest professional races. The first time a professional rowing race was on a lake. Usually they're held in London or Chicago or New York. These were big time events, and it was in Kenora. Like, we had people from around the world coming to Kenora, Rat Portage at that point, to watch the race. The person that Jacob Gadar raced against was from Australia. So there's a whole contingent of people from Australia came to Rat Portage at the time. We've had an active rowing club in Kenora for well over 100 years. So it's a part of our history, not always up front like it was in 1901 or this past summer with Abby rowing, but we've had our moments over the years. And yeah, so I'm going to pinpoint 1901 with Jacob Gadar and Rat Portage, but you never know. You might have a silver medal, something here. You never know. I got to ask first. So, but that's in the summer. That's a little ways off. My main goal for during the summer is to have really lake-oriented, lake-themed, area-themed exhibitions for people to come to, because as just being here for a little bit, we're very much a tourist destination during the summer, even during the fall. Even my short time here, it seems anyone who comes to Kenora shows up at the museum because it's one of the things they do in Kenora. So that'll be our thing too, and it always has been, is to create interesting and relevant programming. So that'll be my one of my things, is I just want to tell, as I keep saying, I want to tell stories, stories about the area and stories that are interesting, and stories that will help and not only tell stories about Kenora, but also drive people to come here and learn about different aspects of our history, which I think over the past, Braden, Lori, Reg, they've all done. So I'm just kind of adding to what they've done over the years.